Hi, this is Kane Hodder, Victor Crowley, Jason from Friday the 13th. You're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're all doing good, I think.
Pretty good.
No, this is a perfect show. It's Without Your Head's the name of the show, and we didn't name that just for you. I think this is like a perfect guest. Everyone.
Well, that's cool, man. That's real cool.
Yeah. If everyone's not out there, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. We were saying earlier in the show, it's probably the most infamous scene, our favorite scene of the movie. Your character name is Julius, obviously. And you were telling us off the air, like, when people can come and see you at these conventions, that you actually have something with you.
Yeah, man. I actually have the head encased in a glass case. It has a little trophy little placard on the front, and actually it says Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Then I got in close here. Take your best shot. So, it's pretty hot, man.
Is ever weird seeing, like, your head, like, in a case?
I'm going to tell you something. Actually, I had that head off, like, in like, closets, and then it was in my storage for a while. It got weird when I got ready to come out to this super mega show here, and I actually took it and had it encased in the glass box, the glass plexi box. That got a little strange. I picked it up, and I was like, damn! Because I had fully restored it and everything, because it was like kind of falling apart. But I went to the little theatrical place or whatever over in Hollywood and got the blood and hooked it on up. And man, it's popping. Everybody needs to come out and check it out. It's off the hook.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, where do you go to have like something like that restored?
Actually, I did a lot of it, but I went to a place called Cinema Secrets right over there in Burbank. They got a free little plug. But they have they have everything, like, and even like on Halloween, they have lines around the block, just everybody, retail, buying costumes. But yeah, they have all the various kinds of glues and the blood and blood clotting and that whole works. So I went in there, man, and somebody kind of hooked it up, and then I took it to this plastics place where they make actually plastic display boxes. And oh man, I'm telling you, you guys got to come on out and check it out, because it's, I was going to say off the hook, but it's off the shoulder. It's popping.
Well, everybody know it's July 12th and the 13th. That's this weekend, and it's a super mega show. It's in Wayne, New Jersey. It's at the Willbrook Mall. And if you guys want to, find out directions and how to get your tickets, just go over to supermegashow.com. We'll have the link right on the website.
Sounds good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from Friday the 13th films. There's Hughes, Warrington Gillette, and Bill Randolph. There's a bunch of people, and there's also, there's like stuff for everybody there, because you got Adam West, you got Julie Newmar, you got people from the original Batman series, and even got professional wrestlers there.
Yeah, the show's gonna be hot, man, and I believe everybody's got like memorabilia on them, and I know, as I said, I have that head, and I've got a couple of signed sweatshirts that I've got there, that were basically just given to the cast, but. I look kind of foolish walking around rocking it. So, I got some of those things there. I have a laminated 8-foot-tall poster of Jason that, I'll be standing in front of, for some photo ops. So it's something for everybody on out there, man. It should be really popping.
Yeah. I think you got some... Didn't you have a question, John, about the poster?
Oh, yeah, the New York poster. Were you surprised that it was banned?
You know what, man? When we got word of that, I didn't really understand the whole thing. I know that pretty much all cities, they have a copyright on that I Heart whatever, but how big it got, that tripped me out to the point of where, like in Los Angeles, the minute that they pulled those posters, people started breaking into the bus stops, trying to get them. So I know they're rare, but yeah, stuff like that. When you're making a movie and when the promotion and that kind of stuff comes out, you have no idea just what's going to happen to whatever. It's almost just like you give birth to a baby and, you hope it turns out cool. You know what I'm saying?
Before, you start bringing the head around to these places, anyone ever come up to you with their own head that they made, or wanted you to sign it?
No, that's never happened. But I know.
Oh man!
Shortly after the movie came out, I had some crazy experiences. People coming up and seeing me fight Jason, and they're like, oh, hey, well, can you go a few rounds? And it's like, man, it's a move. But the people, hey, they're down with it. They take that stuff real serious, and it's cool, man, because it's a cool genre. It was cool working on the show.
Yeah. Were you a fan of like the series before you got the role?
Actually, of course, like everybody else, I knew about the whole series, but I probably had seen one Friday the 13th prior to that. But just before shooting my movie, I rented one. But funny story though, it's like when I got the role, I didn't even know I was going to shoot a Friday the 13th. All I knew is it was one of my first movies. It was going to be a starring role. They were going to pay me, and they had a plane ticket waiting for me at LAX. Hell, I'm sitting in the damn waiting area there, and an actress, Kelly Hu, actually was in the movie. She was like, "Hey, are you here to go to see shoot Friday the 13th?" I'm like, "Friday the 13th? What are you talking about? I'm here, for another movie, Burial at Sea." She goes, "What? Are you shooting in that?" That's how I found out, basically. Hell, I was just on a plane going to fight a monster. I didn't even know I was going to shoot Friday the 13th. So.
Did you take any boxing lessons for the scene? Yeah,
actually, I did a lot of kind of like cross training. Basically, I did a lot of it over at the Jet Center. A lot of the fans, they probably know Benny the Jet. I don't know if he's still making movies now, a martial artist, but he has a gym right over there in Van Nuys. So I went in there and had some boxing training. Then actually, when I got up there to Vancouver, where we shot the majority of the movie, I had some training and stuff there too. And there was a coach there on the set just to kind of make sure that certain stances and stuff were authentic and stuff. So yeah, it was a lot of work, man. But I had to gain a lot of weight for the role too, because when I initially went and auditioned for it, I went in there and they had tried to cast this role out of like Detroit, New York, Chicago, because they just figured they didn't want just an LA actor. They wanted a certain edge for it, right? So anyway, long short, they ended up coming back to LA. I go into Paramount, and there's all these real boxers out there. And hell, I was like 165 soaking wet, but I wore like 8 sweatshirts, right? So I go in there and I laid it down, man. My audition was off the hook, and they were like, okay, you know what? That was really cool. That was really good. But you're not fooling anybody about how many sweatshirts you got on there, buddy. I got 8. And they said, okay, well, if you got this role, how long would it take you to put some meat on your bones? And they, got me a trainer, and I started beefing up, and then that's what you saw, so.
You got a question, John? Oh, go on, Troy, sorry.
Oh, just going to say, like, you threw some really authentic-looking punches, though. They were great. You did a really, really good job.
Thank you, man. I worked hard on it, and as I said, I had a lot of good people around me, and professional boxer, he was on the set, and my stuntman, actually, I think he was a part-time boxer. So, they just helped me keep it real, and between that and trying to make him, like, be a real brother, because you see on these horror movies, somebody will, like, go outside and, knowing that they need a gun, but they'll walk out there with a damn flashlight, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of that. They had a lot of that written in there, just like they had, like, when Jason would start coming towards you, somebody's running for their life, and then they take 2 steps and fall. I'm like, you know what? No, he's cooler than that. So our collaboration, that's what you saw, man, and the fans really appreciate it. So I dug it. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever told you how many punches you actually thrown during the film?
I haven't counted them, but when we first did it, one of the editors told me between 91 and 92, and I was like, oh, damn. I think it's between 90 and 91 or 92 or something like that, man. Yeah, but...
Well, I watched just the scene with you and Jason, and I counted 56. So I don't know how many with the
those
boxing.
Those are ones that landed.
Yeah, those are ones that actually landed. So.
Now you count? Are you counting that final one? Because that final one, all the others don't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I just counted the final.
That's the showstopper.
We need the official box stat on this.
No, that's true. Yeah.
No, I actually heard that they were thinking of filming that part in MSG, like Madison Square Garden. Would you have liked to? Yeah, that's what they were saying in the commentary track, I suppose. Would you have liked to have done that?
Oh, hell yeah! Only if they would have put a Rocky soundtrack behind it. I would have been down with it.
Oh, that would have ruled.
We get a caller here. We got a Golgo on the line.
Okay, how you doing, BC?
Hey, I'm chilling, man. How's everything?
Good. First of all, I just want to say I actually thought Friday the 13th Part 8 was a really good movie. I know it gets a lot of slack, but I really enjoyed it, and I actually really enjoyed your scene because, it's kind of refreshing seeing a character kind of just stand up to Jason instead of run away, and ends up getting killed anyway, so you kind of went out, balls to the wall, But I was wondering...
That's cool, man. Thank you.
No problem. I was wondering, when you were shooting that scene, did you ever think, to ask the director or anything, shouldn't I, somehow, remove the guy's mask by start, pummeling his face instead of just hitting a hockey mask, or did you just go with what they wanted to do, or how'd that go?
You kind of broke up a little bit, but I think you asked about the punches and where they were landing. Did I have any input in that?
Yeah, he was wondering. He was wondering if you ever thought of asking the director if your character should remove Jason's mask so you can punch him in the face instead of punching through the mask.
No, you know what? I didn't, and actually, quiet as it's kept, they probably would have said no, but that would have been interesting to ask. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so much give and take and so much respect for everybody's collaboration on there. It would have been interesting, and that would have been something that might have added a whole element to me getting my ass kicked.
Do you have anything else, Go?
No. Thanks for taking my question, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in, man. I thought you had a question about a music or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure VC, I'm sure he remembers this song. Do you remember that track from the movie Darkest Side of the Night, or do you have, no clue about the soundtrack on the film?
No, I haven't heard the soundtrack from Manhattan.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard it, man.
Yeah. I believe he's referring to the intro track to the beginning of the film.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just always thought that was a really cool song. I was just wondering if you remembered it or anything.
Yeah, I do actually remember that. It's when the two kids were on the life raft, the life cabin, the houseboat or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then they play a lot more. I think they play it during the credits. So I just always liked that song. So that's cool that you actually remember it. I was pretty sure you wouldn't, but anyway, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man.
No problem.
All right, take care, man.
Speaking of music, I mean that's probably one of the most famous, little music for when a guy's on screen is the Jason music, but it's by Harry Manfredini, who we'll be having on the show very soon, actually. Ching ching ching, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Now, because I know Kane Hodder sometimes for the roles, he doesn't want to talk to any of the characters, any of the actors beforehand, so they don't see him without the makeup on. Was he like that on this movie?
No, actually, me and I don't know how he was with some of the other characters because the schedule for those they're primarily shot at nighttime, and unless with the exception of a core group of us that actually made it to New York, everybody was kind of working at different times. But Kane, his room was near mine, so we hung out and stuff like that a little bit, but we were both working so much. But no, he didn't really have that kind of need that distance in this one, maybe because I think he had done a couple of them prior to that,
Yeah. Did you work out the scene beforehand with him?
Excuse me. Yeah, we did not a lot of choreography, but pretty much we just kind of wanted to go for it. You know what I mean? And I remember when we just before we got ready to shoot it, I was, hey, okay, you really want to go for it? He's like, yeah, man, hit me, bro. So those body punches, those were all real. And a lot of people always ask about the knuckles, in hitting the mask, because you can visibly see that my knuckles were kind of swollen or whatever. Yeah, well, that happens. Now the blood, it wasn't drawing real blood, but yeah, man, in the throes of it all, of the whole thing, you mix it up and it is what it is. And we shot on that most of that evening, But every single time we just went for it because, as I say, even though you don't know how memorable something is going to be or where it's going to land in Friday the 13th history or whatever, you feel that it's something special and you know that it hasn't been done before. So all that adrenaline pumping toward it just kind of like sends it over the top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let everybody know again too. It's this Saturday and Sunday, the Super Mega Show. It's in Wayne, New Jersey. It's at the Crown Plaza, Fairfield, New Jersey, Route 46 East, next to Willbrook Mall. And you can check out supermegashow.com. We'll have the link right on the website, so you can just click on there in case you don't know how to spell, and you can find it real easy. You also have a MySpace. I believe it's myspace.com/V C Dupree. Now,
C Dupree.
Right. A lot of that up on the website too. Now, are you happy to hear from the fans on there?
Hey man, I love it, and it's a trip because a lot of my friends or whatever, they have their little pages, and I look at all my stuff. I do it all personally, and I dig it, man, because everybody has love for it. You know what I mean? Whether it be that or some other stuff that I've done or whatever, but still, just when anybody appreciates your work, it's cool because people don't have to take the time out of their day to just drop you an email or whatever and say, hey man, that was tight or whatever. So yeah, man, I read all my friend requests. I don't have an automatic thing, just like some of these people where, you ask to be your friend and then it's right back at you. I'm sitting there looking at everything. So yeah, man, I love to hear from the fans, man, and I hear some really interesting stories about, their, dark side encounters and that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, I dig it.
All right. Did you have another question, John?
Yeah, actually, I was just wondering if you ever had any discussion about whether your character should live throughout the film, or did you want your character to die?
They never really discussed that, but I'm going to tell you something. After I had finished filming, and just like the crew and just kind of some of the buzz and some of the people talking, they were like, you know what, you shouldn't have killed that cat off. You know what I mean? There was still work to be done. But then again, it's not a soap opera, so it ain't like, you can say that whole thing was a dream, and I'm in the next one with my head back on. But it's so funny. I was thinking the other day, and actually I was in a Starbucks in L.A., and somebody came up to me, and they were asking about this movie, and they asked me, was there going to be any other sequels? And I said, well, it's pretty much, it's kind of like a done deal. What else is there to do? I said, unless I come back as Julius's twin brother, and instead of a boxer, the mixed martial artist. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? Oh, let me put that out there. Somebody write that, because that would be kind of hot.
That would be pretty cool, especially with how MMA is taking off today.
Yeah, and it would also bring in a whole nother whole additional audience. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, somebody get on that and call me.
Everybody's out there listening, let us know. We'll get you in touch with VC. Well, what do you think about remaking the movie? The remake of the original Friday the 13th.
You know what, man? Quiet as it's kept. Right now, they're doing so many remakes on everything that, to me, they're kind of getting sloppy. If they could get it to where it's true to what most horror movies started out to be, I think that would be cool. But it seems like right now, and especially as tight as money is in Hollywood, and you've got all these strikes, and we're gonna strike, we're not gonna strike, that everybody has to go for a sure built-in audience. So people aren't taking as many chances, and the safest bet seems to be right now, do a remake. But man, if they could do something and capture just the true essence of what those movies really were, with the shadows and the suspense and the whole, of course you're going to have your blood. But, I'm a firm believer it can be both. You don't have to just have the suspense thing and then a slasher film. You can put all that in one big pot of gumbo and just slash it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to do another sequel once, he's up in outer space. So I think, to really bring back the Jason character, I think the remake is probably the best bet.
Yeah.
And if you've seen the pictures, the mask actually looks really good. It looks, pretty much like it does in the original films.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. No, Rob says in the commentary that that you cut your hand in the phone booth scene. That was like the only injury on the set. Now, was that a bad injury? Was it a bad cut, or wasn't it not that big of a deal?
It was because what they it's glass, but it's theatrical glass, so it's made of I think like some kind of sugar glaze or something like that or whatever. So it's not real glass. But what they did, they had a small cutaway inside, probably right in the middle of the phone booth. So when Jason was to punch in, his hand was gonna go into the almost sort of perforated circle there, and then come in, and then the rest of the glass would follow. But the panes along the phone booth there, they didn't hold a complete sheet of glass in. So when he punched through, instead of his hand going through just that little circle part and then the rest of the glass kind of crumbling, the whole pane came in. That in itself wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but it was way more stuff and matter on the bottom of the phone booth than anticipated. So when all that stuff comes in and I start to run out, I slipped on all that broken sugar glycerin glass. And it was either my hands or my face, and I still had a movie to shoot. So I put the dogs down, and, it kind of sharded in my hands, But, yeah, other than that, I think, it was pretty much a safe shoot, and they're brutal, so I think that's saying a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. What was it like for you or any of your family members to see the first time you see the movie finished and seeing yourself get your head punched off, getting killed on the big screen?
Man, for me it was unbelievable, for the simple fact that when it opened and the Paramount's premiere was at Nan's Chinese on Hollywood Boulevard. It was just it was just so huge, and that was my first real starring role in a film. So the whole thing was almost just kind of like a dream. So I leave there, and then we were going to appear at some other theaters out in Orange County and kind of all around different places. And in the limo driving out there, it was on every single drive-in off the side of the highway, and it was surreal. It was just awesome. It was just too much. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But here, one really quick funny story. When we got to the other theater that we're going to open up in Orange County, we get there, and I get out of the car. I see all these people out in front of the theater. You know what I mean? They're just, and they're all looking this direction. So, hell, I get out of the car. I'm looking. I'm like, who the hell are they looking at? And then they mobbed the damn car. I thought they were looking for, Janet Jackson or somebody. It was it was for me. But I get out, and then it was it was a really stupid mistake. But, yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, they were really glad to see me.
That's wild.
Now, like I said, everyone's going to be able to see the actual head. How did you come into possession of your head? Not the one on your shoulders, but the head from the movie.
Well, when they make those, it's pretty much, and they had three. They made three of them. The one that I have with me that I'll have at the Super Mega Show, it's the one they use for close-ups. So you've got the neck cartilage and all that crap hanging out of it. I'm telling you, it's off the hook. But they had that one, and then they had a heavier one that they used to throw in the garbage, to make the thud.
Right.
And then they had a lighter one that I think they embedded a camera up in or something like that to toss up in the air. And after they're finished, pretty much all they do is destroy them. And the special effects guy, Jamie, he said, hey, man, do you want these? Have them, or I can just destroy them. So, hell, I took one. My grandmother has one, and my mom has one.
Oh, so you ended up with all three then, huh?
I took all three of my severed heads and a big hefty steel sack on the plane. But then again, it was a little bit looser on the airlines than it is now. But, oh, hell yeah. I'm leaving my head in Vancouver.
I think you just did another interview recently, if you want to tell everybody how they can find that one out.
Yeah, that was on PyramidWestTV.com. And that talked a lot about some of the Friday the 13th stuff, and another movie that a lot of people really responded to well of mine. And I believe that will be up tomorrow, but I just gave that a couple of days ago. and it's pretty hot. Just kind of talked about this particular show here and some of the things just civically and stuff like that I'm trying to do as far as just like giving back and helping out kids and stuff like that. So yeah, check it out. It's on Pyramid West TV, all one word.com.
Excellent.
And once again, as I said, my MySpace is MySpace/VC Dupree.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll put that up.
And
we'll
you
put
know
all
what?
that up.
Actually, I'm going to be at a Suncoast video on, I believe tomorrow for an in-store. I think you can go to the Super Mega Show website, and there might be a link to that, I believe. But or check your Suncoast video. I'm going to be out there just kind of meeting the fans and everybody, just vibing with everybody, man.
Yeah. Everybody check out supermegashow.com. That's this weekend in the New Jersey area. We'll have all the information right on the website. And I want to thank you for coming on tonight. Is there anything you just like to tell everybody out there?
Hey, man, I just want to tell everybody thanks for your time, and, hopefully I'll see you out there, man.
This is Larry Zerner, Shelley from Friday the 13th Part 3, and you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.